Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. So today we are at Pick and Pull, and I found a 1993 Honda Accord in pretty decent condition for the battery relocation video. So that's what we're here to do. It has most of the components that you need in the that come stock in the engine bay. I think pretty much sure it has everything that I worked with anyways, but it should be enough just for instructional purposes. That being said, let's get right into it. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing in the engine bay, show you what I removed and what I had to work with as far as wiring goes, and then we'll head back home and I'll show you how it looks in my car. So thanks again for clicking on the video, and let's get started. So here we are in the engine bay. Here are some of the components we got. We got the positive, we got the negative, battery box, and the connection to the starter, which is pretty much all we're going to need to work with here. Basically, I'll show you guys right now how to take off the battery box. It's just a few bolts right here. And then afterwards, what we're gonna do is we'll completely remove the negative on this side because we're not gonna need it at all. So it's a 10 right here, and we follow this wire all the way down. There's another 10 down there. That's one of the grounds to the negative. So yeah, let's get started. Alrighty, so let's start first off with the battery box. It's actually going to be a few 12s and then one 10 right here, so let's just crack these open real quick. Now, one thing to note is the stock intake setup is gone from this car right now. Since this is the battery relocation video, I'm just going to focus on the battery relocation for now, and we'll keep it going. Alrighty, and with that, we're off. Next, you'll notice there's actually a bracket right here that connects. It just looks like a 10 mil right here, so we'll take care of that. And there we are, off with the battery box. Do remember, if you are at the junkyard making an instructional video, don't just throw this away nilly-willy. Somebody will want this eventually, so we're just going to toss that to the side. Next off, we have the ground. So, we got 10 mil. We're just going to take that off. And there's one. Then we follow that wire down. You'll see down, camera working right there. This one right there. That's the secondary part of the ground. That tail right there, so I'll take that out right now. Get a longer extension for this. Yes, right there. Just gonna, there we go. And with that, let's see. We just have some more brackets that connect to the positive. So, I'm just gonna. Alrighty, so put that there, and then this should separate like that. Alrighty.
Are you looking for a screwdriver? I have your screwdriver.
And then there we just gotta push it up and out. Nice. And just like that with a flathead. Nice. Alrighty, and with that, the negative cable is out. Alrighty, so now all we are left with is the positive. So if you see right here, the positive runs through the fuse box. So that's one line to the positive, and the second line to the positive goes to the starter. Okay, so on my own build, I loosened this 10, and then the positive wire I had came with a ring at the end of it. So what I was able to do was I put that ring through this bolt and clamped it together so that it basically just continued this positive to the rear. And what I'll show you right now is we'll head back into my garage. I'll show you exactly what I did, but just know that it is now taped up, so it'll be more of a description than anything. And I'll show you where I guided the line, which lines I got, and how I set it all up in the trunk. So let's go. Alrighty, and we're back home with my own engine bay, and I'll show you guys where we're at. So, if you recall, right here is where the starter wire was for the first wire from the positive section. So basically, took that, bent that back, looped it around my AC lines, and then we took that wire and brought it under there. You see that red? There it is. So now I'll take you inside the cabin. You'll see right there, there's a little grommet. There's a little grommet that you can just push, or not a grommet, but like a plastic piece that just fits in that hole. You can push that out and then feed your wire through there. I fed the wire through, wrapped it all up, tucked it against what is normally on the side of the door, brought it all the way back, and actually I have my back seats out right now, so this works out perfectly. And then kept tucking it underneath the trim there, brought it up and through and into the trunk underneath the carpet, and then from the trunk brought it around this way till finally, dun, 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 we have the battery box. Alrighty, so now we have the battery box. This is from AutoZone. It is the Noco snap top battery box, and I'll show you exactly what we got going on here. The casing itself has two open sides right here, which positive, negative, so you have space for the actual wire itself. You saw how I fed the positive through, and that was all the way from the front through the cabin. As far as the negative goes, we have the negative terminal right there. We sweep it along the inner part of the actual trim until we get to this side, where I've shaved some of the paint off the metal and made a ground for that. And that's your negative. Very easy, very simple. The box itself, the way it mounts is there are two plastic pieces at the bottom underneath this, which you'll screw into the chassis, and then underneath that, underneath those plastic plates basically is what the strap runs through, and that's what holds it down. So then you run the strap underneath, and then it ties over the box and holds everything in place. And it's very sturdy. I've had it for a while, and it's done me good. That's pretty much it. It's just an extension of the positive from the front, if you do it the way I did it. And then the negative is all in the trunk. Very simple, easy to do. As far as the grounds go, I'll show you those really quick, and then we can wrap this up. Alrighty, so if you recall, we disconnected the original negative ground from down here, so I ended up getting wiring from AutoZone. So one end went there, and I traveled it up through here and then put it back in its original space. So we still have that ground, and then the other ground that I have is also very small, but it's this one right here that connects to there, to the valve cover, there to the chassis. You can put more grounds if you want. Me personally, I haven't done that, but that is the battery relocation. It's very simple. I hope that really helps you guys, and I appreciate the support again. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. If there's any other videos that you want me to make, leave a comment, let me know. I'll try to get to it as fast as possible. But thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.